Okay. Versatile Vigilante, Young Vince, Uncle Vinny. And we're here, man, with the owner of Counterculture Phoenix,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Jacob Ryan.
Yes, that's me.
How are you, bro?
I'm good. I'm better now. I'm
Yeah.
happy to be here. I've never done nothing like this, so this is it's a new look at something. I'm grateful for it, honestly.
Man, I appreciate you having me in your space. This is a really, really awesome spot. There's so much to cover in here that we aren't getting on camera, but I love what you've done with the place, man.
Thank
It's
you.
a really, really cool spot. So, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
My pleasure, bro. Since it is your first interview, I'd love to learn a little bit about you.
Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
Born and raised here. I kind of grew up in North Phoenix and Peoria. Went to high school out there. And then, yeah, in the past, I think 2.5 years is when I finally moved down into Central Phoenix. But yeah, grew up in the suburbs, Glendale, Peoria. Um, those were kind of my stomping grounds, I think, first of all. And then, yeah, now I'm kind of just paving my own way down here, and I love it. I'm stuck down here. Um, but yeah, high school out there. I did a little college out in at GCC. That's where I started doing my silversmith and stuff. I went for my
Okay.
associates, and it was kind of funny. It was like the first year I was in there, and I dropped all of my core classes just to do my silversmithing, and no one was happy about that. But I was, and that was one of those things, and that's kind of what set me up on the trajectory to get this place, I think. And I've always been an artist. I think in growing up, I was an athlete,
Mm.
and I always love. I got a special place in my heart for that kind of stuff. But it was interesting. Yeah, kind of finding my way to the arts my senior year of high school, and it was like my first semester of high school. I took my first art class really ever by choice, kind of an elective. And within that first month, I ended up quitting the wrestling team, quit the football team because I was like, holy crap, this is like the thing that I want to do forever. And I think through that, I found out like I was pretty good at it and kind of with drawing, and I used to do painting, um, like a lot of collage too, growing up, and I was actually super obsessed with like sacred geometry.
Hmm.
So I would just like hoard myself in a room and spend 4.5 hours just like drawing perfect circles and trying to get all the angles right and stuff like that. And that's what ended up kind of inspiring the logo that I've got. Pulled that from like the Flower of Life kind of deal, and um, yeah, it was fun, and it's been a long process I think to get to this point. But again, like I'm always grateful for this, and it's kind of just taking a leap for yourself and trusting yourself a little bit, and um, it's been, I think, since moving down into Phoenix with some of the things that I do, it's people have gravitated towards it in a way that I hadn't realized, and I think it was just kind of the universe telling me like, hey, dude, you've got something there, something special, and something people want, and um, I'm just happy to facilitate it, kind of thing. So
Like I said, bro, congratulations. This
thank
is
you.
a really dope spot. So, for anyone watching, we're on Grand Avenue
Yes, Grand Ave.
in very trendy part of the city.
It's up and coming. There's a lot
Yeah.
of magic happening here. I think a lot of young people rolling in, a lot of my friends rolling in, either moving down here. They got a shop now. Um, yeah, I'm just super grateful, like I said, to just be involved in that kind of thing. So
I love it, bro. We chatted a little bit before the interview of how, this seems to be where the cool shit is happening.
yes, yes,
When you wanted to open up this place, was Grand Avenue a location that you kind of had your sights set on?
not at all. It
Interesting.
was when I first got the call from one of my best friends, Pauline, right next door. Um, I'd actually been a part of her collective for about 2 years,
Okay.
and she was helping me showcase all my clothes and that kind of thing. And I remember I was at work one day. It was like 3:30. She gave me a call, and she's like, "What are you doing?" Um, the space right next to me opened up. Do you want it? And it was like 20-minute conversation. I had to make a decision right then and there. And it had always been the goal to find a space and have a little shop space for myself to kind of move all the stuff out from my apartment and move it out of my living space and that kind of thing. Um, but it was one of those moments. It was like, okay, like let's just take the leap and do the thing, and like here we are, and it's turned into something that I really couldn't imagine. I've only been open since last November, and the property owner, she's super awesome, and she's super grateful for what we're doing, and I really couldn't do it without Pauline and Beatrice, the property owner, and Yeah, again, just no idea that I was going to be here, but I think I ended up in the spot that I needed to be. So,
I think so too, bro.
yeah.
It's a vibe, man. I really enjoy this space a lot. What do you do in here? I think this is a good question to
Yep.
ask, for anyone wondering. Talk about the space a bit.
Yeah, so I always wanted to have like my own studio. So I'm a seamster, a silversmith. I'm a welder full time, a fabricator of sorts kind of deal. And so I just needed a space to kind of do that. And so I do a little bit of everything, at least I try to do. And I think I had another side of the coin too that I wanted was I want to teach people this stuff, and I want people to come in and have a community space, basically like another third space where you can either come in and hang out, or you can come in and learn a skill and work on your own project, use some of my tools and stuff like that. And it was yeah, I think that's the ultimate goal for me was to have that little community here, people who just wanted to work on something, wanted to jam on something cool. Me and my best friends, we have this motto like we just want to make cool shit with cool people,
Facts.
and that's kind of what we've turned this place into. And I really couldn't have done it without all my friends and the community out here. And I think the community is what they show up the best, honestly. Whether it's the artists down here or people just walking by, everyone's super curious. And as soon as I'm like, yeah, like if you want to bring some clothes in and work on that, or maybe it's like an item of clothing that it's just been in the closet for the past 3.5 years and you never wear it, and you'll do a little something, you'll crop it, cut the sleeves off, maybe put a little print on there, and then it's like brand new. It's your new shirt and you're wearing it all the time. And that's been my experience at least too. And but yeah, I wanted to be able to kind of offer that option to people. I don't do like any membership style thing or anything like that. If you want to hit me up and you want to jam on something, it's just come on in, that kind of thing. Um, and yeah, that's really what I wanted in this space. But you know, sewing is probably the bread and butter out of the shop, and that's more my passion, I think. Um, and yeah, that was the main goal, is just to be able to pump out as much clothes as I can handle. And I've got so many ideas floating around in my head at any given moment in time. So I just needed to be able to do it and then display it and kind of sell it if I wanted to, or just, use it kind of a gallery thing too. People want to come in, they'll just look at the clothes and, oh, this is super cool. I wish I could do this on one of my clothes. And it's like, hey, that's what the space is for. Everyone's always like, ah, I wish I could do this. I don't have the tools, or I don't have the time, or I don't know the people. Um, and that's what the shop's for. Honestly, is come learn that thing, get that idea out of your head too. It keeps you awake at night, doesn't let you
Mm,
sleep, um, and that's what I've done for myself. So I want to be able to offer that to other people as well. And I've been super fortunate to have some great teachers in my life who have taken chances on me, and I feel like I have to kind of pay that forward a little bit. And yeah, it's been super great, and the I would say I guess the reaction of the community and the support and all that has just been it's been more than I could have imagined, honestly. And yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I love it.
that's super, super inspiring, man. You said a lot of things there that I really relate to, like especially just doing cool shit with
Yep.
with cool people. I think that's really what it's all about at the end of the day.
Yes.
And you mentioned the third space,
Yeah.
and that is huge, man, because 2026, it's tough to go out and not feeling pressured to buy a bunch of
Yeah.
shit, often low quality, mass produced shit is the term to use.
Exactly.
It's
Yes.
garbage 90% of the time. So it's a reference like, no, come here, come chill, let's do some cool stuff.
Yep.
I love that, man.
And that was yeah. And I think growing up too, I was a super homebody. After I graduated high school, I didn't have many friends, and I kind of just hunkered down in my room with my mom and my dad, and they were, they're always like, go find something to do, go find some people, and all that kind of stuff. And maybe it was a confidence thing or whatever it may be. But no, that was my life since I was young. I'm an only child.
Okay.
But yeah, so since the time I can remember, I've kind of just been doing my thing, and I think I got really comfortable with that. And deep down, I was like craving some type of space that I could go to, and I didn't have to do all this stuff and just kind of crowded in my own hoarded like room and that kind
Right.
of thing. And so yeah, and that's what I really wanted to offer to other people because I know that there's other people kind of in a similar boat,
Yeah.
and it's a safe space. Like you do not have to know anything, have any skill to come in here, and that's the whole point. You come in here with nothing, and then you got like a little spark of inspiration. And like I was saying with Jesse from Greater Good, he hadn't done any sewing either, and that was one of those things last night. He wanted to come in. He wanted me to help him facilitate it, but he also wanted to kind of learn as much as possible and learn about the machines, learn about tension and like thread length and stitch length and all that kind of stuff. And like that's the whole point. And it was kind of funny too. Like I'm working on the little project that we were doing, and I just looked up at him. I was like, "You wanna hop in and do this?" And he was like, "Hell yeah!" Like, and so I got a little video of him working on the sewing machine, and that's what I live for,
Yeah.
honestly. As much as I need this space to get things out of my brain and to get things out there into the world, I think other people need that too, and they're craving that, and they want to be able to learn, and they want to just have like a I don't know a little foot in the door with that kind of thing, and that's my bread and butter, and I think too again just back to that point of like people did it for me, and I need to pay that forward as well. So
We we need more of that.
yeah,
Honestly, I love that. And I actually feel that especially our generation
yeah,
is starting to seek that
yep,
more.
yep,
I really feel that because I think we see all the nonsense going on and all
absolutely,
these things. It's like, okay, what can we do about it though?
yeah.
And I think what you're doing is an awesome example of that.
I appreciate that. Yeah, and yes, especially with kind of the state of the world right now. I'm a I'm a big fan of Nina Simone,
Mm,
and she has a quote. It's the roughly it's the artist's duty to reflect the times, and whether it's uplifting certain things or fighting against other stuff, if we're not kind of confronting that stuff and reality in a way that's approachable, um, I think we're kind of missing the plot a little bit.
right.
And I think in any hard times in the world or any major shift, art is at the forefront of that. Whether it be comedy, whether it be muralist or painting or clothes, it's you think back in we were talking about the '60s or even the '80s. Like I think in the '80s there was a lot of fashion where it was just pushing against the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And like Steve McQueen did that quite a bit, and yeah, it was. I think that's what we need right now, and like you said too, I think a lot of people are craving that,
Yeah.
and we're all opinionated, and we're all kind of dealing with this stuff together. We're not isolated. We're not this idea of separateness. We're as much as maybe we think we're going through it alone, or like no one else can see it the way that I see it. Like we're all trying to deal with it at the same time, and I think it's easier if we're able to do it together. And I think sometimes too, it's like how do we bring light to this thing? How do we approach this issue without stepping on toes or pissing people off? Which I also think is an important thing to do, right?
Yeah.
We should stir the pot a little bit. But yeah, it's like just with the space, it's you need a safe space to be able to do that. Whether it's this full-fledged idea you've got ready to get out, or you're like, I'm not really sure how to express this thing. At least getting in here and starting on it, just doing it and trying it is more to say than I think for a lot of people. And yeah,
Absolutely right, man. When you mentioned, starting out and branching out
yeah,
and kind of being maybe done with the wrestling and
yeah,
getting into art, you never know what you might fucking get into, man. And the only way to really know is to try it.
to do it.
Sometimes you don't like it, but that's okay. You tried it.
Yep.
Other times it could become a huge part of your life. It's really fascinating.
Yes. Yes. And yeah, that's a super fair point. Like I didn't realize how like ingrained or like in my blood the art was, and whether yeah, and I'm everywhere all the time. So
Hmm.
um, it's just one of those things. Like I sometimes I can't help but if I get into a rut with sewing, then I'll go play the guitar for 30 minutes, and or if I'm getting tired of that, I'll go do my collage or I'll go do the silversmithing. And I kind of found myself in this place where it's like as soon as I get into a rut, Like I'm already in this creative zone,
Yep.
and I don't want to pull myself out of that. So I go find something else a little easier or something that I know like I can just do this real quick, still stay in that creative zone, and then the inspiration happens, and you're like, while you're working on this other project and this is waiting for you, you're like, oh wait, I can go do that real
Yep.
quick, and then you go, fix the issue that you were working with or that kind of got you in that rut in the first place. But yeah, it's hard for me to kind of pivot sometimes
Mm-hmm.
out of that zone, and so I do my best to try to that's yeah try to do other creative things at the same time, and that's what kind of made this an amalgamation of multiple things, and that's what I love. And it's something that I can offer to you. Like you do not have to come in here with one specific thing. Like, yeah, I'm a sewing shop and I do silversmithing, but you want to come in here and do collage. You want to come in here and do like a little wooden sculpture or something like that. Like let's do it. This is what the space is for. I want to see the limits of this place, kind of thing, and even myself, because I think I get as much as I get my inspiration from myself and stuff like that. I think I learn more from other people,
Yeah.
and especially the people who they've never done this thing, and I'm like, you just streamlined this thing that takes me 4 hours and 20 minutes, and you did that because you have no frame of reference of like rules and all this kind of
Yep.
stuff. And I think I call it, that's like the magic right there, is you're really able to kind of tap into, yeah, something that we can't see, feel, or touch, and but you can see it and it pops itself out, and it's the best. It's super inspiring for me, and that's why I'm always just offering it to people. I'm like, oh, you've never sewn, you've never done any silversmithing, you've never done anything like that. Please come in, because I'm gonna learn from you just as much as you're gonna learn from me. So
Yep. That's excellent, bro. I gotta come sew some stuff.
yes, exactly. We
Fuck
gotta do
yeah.
some merch or
We
something.
gotta do
And
something.
got
We
my
will.
besties Colin and Pauline, and he does the screen printing. And shout out Colin and JoJo. And yeah, they're the best too. And I think the one thing that kind of sets us apart right now in this building is the lack of ego. We wanna be as collaborative as possible, and we want to jump on like any opportunity to create a relationship and that kind of thing. And that's what keeps me here, and it keeps me sane. And at the end of the night, I could put my head on a pillow and go to sleep with a
Yep.
smile on my face, because it's one of those things. We offer something really great, and like you said too, with this generation in 2026, I think a lot more people are finally finding themselves into that realm of like, I need something to get this idea or this
Yes.
feeling out. And um, yeah, right now it's super easy to feel isolated. It's super easy to feel alone, and I'm no stranger to either of those things. And um, that's why I do it too. It's just as much for me as it is for the community.
Yep.
But yeah, I gotta be able to go to sleep at night, right?
100%, man. That's a really good point too. Of like when you're feeling that, I was talking to a friend about this recently. Like when you have that loneliness or you have that anxiousness or whatever it is,
Yep,
that's a part of being human, man.
exactly.
But you don't have to give into it. There's things you can do to combat it. There's
Yep,
things you can do to, help
absolutely.
with it.
Yes.
It's part of you, man. You're
Yep.
always gonna have those days where it's like, fuck, a little blue. That's
Yeah.
the game.
Exactly. That is the game.
But there's things you can do.
Yep, and if you're willing to kind of act on it and find something, you're gonna find the community of people who are going through those similar things, and they're like, "Oh, I'm here for that exact same
Right.
reason," and then you're able to talk, and you're able to, and I think too, a lot of the art that we create or the stuff that we give out to the world is so deeply ingrained with emotion too, and so if you're able to find something to combat it or like work with it and get it out. Um, and you realize like, holy shit, like that just floated right off my shoulders. And then you realize like, oh crap, like there's a community of people out here, there's people out here kind of going through the similar thing, and they're taking similar outlets.
Yes.
And I think that's where kind of community becomes a thing. And you're able to really like uplift each other even without words, like just come in and create the thing and put that feeling out into the world, and have it something tangible, tactile, something you can see, feel. um, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
I think the best way to go. Like you don't want to hold it in here for too long, and even if you don't know what it is and you can't put words to it, you could put an image to it, or you could, like, who knows what you could do with that kind of thing.
Yes.
And
That's
other
the
people are gonna be inspired by that too, and so
Yes, that's the best part of it, man. You touched on it like that. spirit of the no rules,
Yeah.
that like 60s counterculture,
Yes. Yes.
which I'm assuming huge influence for you.
Oh yes, that's one. I'm a huge Grateful Dead fan, and after reading as many books as I could on Jerry Garcia and like the sit-ins back in the day too, and kind of the Black Panther Party and all the
Hmm.
protests, and they for some reason they use that word or those two words, counterculture,
Yeah,
and it just kept popping up in books for me, and it really resonated, or I resonated with it a lot, and I think like that was the line I wanted to walk. Is I used to have this other slogan of like fuck pop culture, and it was that kind of thing. And I wanna, it's yeah, whatever the cultural norm is, whatever's popular right now, I want to do the opposite, right?
yeah,
Show light in other ways, and yeah, make it your own. Fucking stir the pot a little bit and make people feel uncomfortable, or but at the same other side of the coin of that too, you're gonna find those other people who are on that same wave who you're able to stir the pot, but you're able to find a community, and you're still able to kind of like further the message. But I think the Dead really inspired me in that, and that was their whole thing. And um, the merry pranksters and all that. They were the weirdos. They were the outcasts, and that's where I feel like I've always found myself in that realm of people.
me too.
And I'm like, so, yeah, we're the outcasts, and I love that shit, and I want to own it, and I want to be able to kind of push that message a little bit where it's like, hey, y'all don't have to do or like what everybody else is liking and doing, and do your own thing, pave your own way, and whatever the world says, if they don't like it, like fuck it.
Exactly, bro. It's really interesting how those guys really, I feel, they nailed it. Like
Yes.
they fucking hit the nail on the head
Yep.
60 years ago, man. And we were talking before the interview. This is a little history lesson, by the way. This is just such good, important shit, I
Yep.
feel. Talking about like Neil Cassidy and
Yes.
Allen Ginsberg and that. Those guys were fucking brilliant guys, man. Extremely flawed,
Oh yes.
insane in some ways.
Yes.
Fucking all the acid and all the
Yep.
shit they
All the
would
drugs.
do.
Who knows?
But they were really out here. Like they were real people. They weren't mythical figures,
No, absolutely not. And it's funny too, like a lot of them were, Ivy League scholars and they
Yes.
went to school and they've got, master's degrees and doctorate's degrees and all this kind of stuff.
Neil
And
Cassidy looks like a corporate
yeah,
businessman of that
yes,
day.
he
Like he
does.
looks like he could have been in Mad Men or
Mm-hmm.
something.
Yeah, straight up. That's
But he
exactly.
was like the wildest of them all,
Yep. Yep. And he,
and
he helped inspire that. And like same thing with Jack Kerouac and Allen
yeah.
Ginsberg. And that's like one thing that really inspired me too. It's like with a lot of the sit-ins, you have the sit-ins for protests, and then I think like one thing that we're missing, and the one thing that this space is close to being is, you find that community of outcasts and you bring them in, and they would read poems together, and they would read excerpts from history books, and they would talk about it and dissect it and try to figure out like how does this relate to the world we live in now, and how can we use this to not only further our message, create a better world. But I think the biggest thing too is like, how can we look at these things differently? Like, there's no right or wrong answer,
No.
and I think like that's what they were trying to showcase too a lot is just like, this is perfectly fine, and we're doing what we love, and we're creating a community of people who want to think critically about things, and they don't want to just be manipulated in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And but yeah, and that's one of this like with this space here too. I offer like a philosophy night once a month.
Oh, fire.
Yeah, one of
When's the
my
next one?
the 26th of next month. I
I'm gonna
think
be
we're
there.
planning. And yeah, my one of my homies, Caleb, he wrote himself philosophical fiction. So he'll come in with a little excerpt, and we'll do the same thing. We'll read it, we'll talk about it, how it relates to the world, how it relates to us personally, and then how we can kind of use that message to kind of, again, create a better world, create a better community. And his biggest thing too is like, there's a lot of manipulation in the world. And what can we do to just see it for what it is? And then it becomes a choice. Do we want this thing to affect my life, or can we look at it a different way and turn our back on it and do that counterculture thing where it's
Yeah.
like, nah, I'm gonna pave my own way on that idea. And that's like, we don't have a lot of that word of mouth. We don't have a lot of those like group settings where people just come in and we're able to just talk and confront really obscure ideas or hard ideas. And that's like one of the great things too. We have a lot of people who come in, and we've all got a different viewpoint on the world and certain concepts. And um, I think we're missing sort of that dialogue there
Yeah.
of like we're all doing this together, like we were saying. We're all dealing with the same thing or the same kind of outside influences and sources. And um, yeah, how can we approach this a little easier, and how can we find some understanding together to kind of um, be okay. Yeah, we all want to put our head on a pillow at night and go to sleep, and so yeah, it's one of those things. I want to kind of bring that vibe back, and I think that they really kind of set up that um, really the next generation of kids who just didn't want to conform. They didn't want
Yeah.
to do what they were told and what society is about, and that's my thing. That's the vein I'm trying to tap into, and I feel like I've kind of obsessed over and morphed into. But then again, it's like that's why I want to bring people in because I want to have different perspectives. And if I'm wrong about this thing, or if maybe I'm looking at it in a different way that makes it harder on me, but your perspective makes it a little easier, like I need that. I want that.
Yes.
And I think we all do. So
You're absolutely right, man. Because, yo, we always think we're right.
exactly.
We always think we're the shit,
In the echo chamber, you're always going to be right. And
Yeah.
when you need to be able to be confronted with sort of an opposite viewpoint, even if you're on the same page, you should be able to look at things from three different perspectives at that bird's eye view and
Right.
kind of thing. So,
And that was something, again, with the 60s era that I found very interesting. There was a lot of collaboration, man. Like, Bob Dylan was friends
yep,
with the Beatles,
yep,
and Johnny Cash, and they were
yep,
all buddies. And
yep,
Neil Young, part of all these different groups. Neil Young's
absolutely.
in a band with Rick James.
Yeah, I did
Like,
not know that.
yes,
That is funny.
yes. Neil Young was in a band with Rick James. The fucking Grateful Dead was buddies with all these authors, and
Yes.
like,
Yep.
I love that, man. I
Yes.
absolutely love that because I do feel when you mention pop culture, it's like clicky.
Yes. Oh,
That shit wasn't clicks. That was like
pure
free spirit
collaboration.
shit.
And like, yeah, when you were talking about, some of the artists collaborating, then I mean, the story of kind of oh, the name's gonna escape me. Let's see. George Harrison of the
Yeah,
Beatles. I think it was in like 60, yeah, the Summer of Love, so 67, when at that point they're icons, they're gods
yeah,
in that era, and they're just strolling through Haight Ashbury in San Francisco, and he just went and played his guitar at Hippie Hill in Golden Gate Park, and I mean you got a sea of 2,000 people who are just fangirling over this guy, and that's all he wanted to do was come in, immerse himself in the scene, meet the people that were there, and I've heard too he wasn't very impressed, but it was one of those things like he was there, he showed face, and he was willing to just immerse himself in, the nobodies, just the people who live there. A lot of them were probably,
yeah.
houseless or kind of doing their own thing. But again, that's like main vein of that countercultural stuff. No one gets to tell you how to live your life, or
Exactly, man.
no one gets to tell you this definition of success and that kind of thing. So, yeah, and that was like super valuable to me, and I think that's kind of what kind of set up that idea of just like pure collaboration. Let's just find out. There's no rules. There's nothing. No bars hold or held, and
Mm-hmm.
let's just figure this thing out together. Like you said, even if it's not something that we agree with or we like we did it. We were there. We came. We conquered. We saw, and now we get to kind of pivot. So
Exactly, bro. I've gone on tangents about this in the past about like algorithm, and it's like that
yeah.
is not a thing. I'm sorry. Like
Yep.
it is in
Yes. Yes.
social media, but not in life.
No.
It's not, bro. Like you're creating shit just to satisfy like a robot damn near.
Yeah.
No, bro, that's not how it works. Like not
Yes.
that's not the way I see things,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
So when I hear you talking about this, very refreshing.
Yeah. I
Very,
appreciate that.
very refreshing, man. And I actually Neil Young had a documentary a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It was him and Crazy Horse,
Yeah.
and they were recording in a barn. And they were old, like they're
Yeah.
damn near 80 years old now.
Yes.
But they were doing the same shit. Like he's fucking smoking on the stage,
Yep.
they're fucking around, they're jamming.
Yep.
And that inspires me so much of like, nah man, these guys they're the spirit's
It's
always there.
alive
If
and well.
exactly.
Yes.
Very inspiring to me. So keep doing what you're fucking doing, man.
I
I
appreciate
love
you.
that shit.
I appreciate you on that one. Yeah, definitely. It's sometimes it feels like a double-edged sword a little bit. Like now when you started to create this thing, there is a little bit of that pressure to kind of uphold it and
Mm,
keep it alive. But I think right now it's kind of what people are looking for. And I think more the community is helping me keep that alive rather than just me trying to do all the hard work on that kind of stuff. And people are craving this kind of thing. And they're craving the just that pure collaboration, no ego, no wrong answers. Like people want that. I think like you said, too, we're in a little bit of a clicky era, and there is sort of this like algorithmic kind of thing happening, and and that's another thing about the space too is it's dirty as you can see. There's like thread all over the floor. It's real life. I'm
yeah.
not here to like make this seem like this is perfectly put together and I got it all figured out. Like this is my space. This is my space that I use to just not go crazy. And so there's real life in here. We're working through real stuff. Nothing in here is perfect, and that's kind of what my vibe is.
Yeah.
I want to just add certain things to clothes, and I don't want to take away too much. I don't want to make things too busy. And I think we're all perfectionists to some degree, but here it's like just make the thing exist, and then we can try and make it perfect,
There you go.
right? Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yes. And that's kind of where I'm a perfectionist to the nth degree, and I've got more projects than I can count on my fingers and toes that are unfinished because I had that idea of like this needs to be perfect first time around, and if it's not, then it's worth nothing. And I've kind of forced myself to get out of that mindset, and it's like let's just make the thing, make it exist, put it out into the world. And it's funny too, like when I first moved down here, I was doing a lot of markets, and there were clothes that I had done like 4 years prior. Didn't look good on me, and the people that I ended up showing it to didn't really like it, and no one was really fucking with it. And it was like as soon as I put it on the rack outside, it was the first thing to go before all the pieces that I worked like 12-hour days the week before to have this like full rack of clothes. And then they're pulling all the stuff that I just been hoarding for years, and I'm like, that was just that confidence boost that I needed. Where it's like, just make the thing, and it's unique. Whether it's perfect or not, it's you, and you got it out, and that's what people want. They want that realness. They want the rawness, and I think that's what we're gravitated towards. And we don't want to. We're not trying to beat around the bush, and I think people can feel that when you're like trying to walk a line and you're trying to put a mask
Mm-hmm.
over things, and it just makes it feel sometimes disingenuous. And
Yes.
so yeah, it's just like fucking do it. Make the
Yeah.
thing. If it's not perfect, someone's gonna love it, and
Yeah,
that's
man.
why they're gonna love it.
The universe will take care of you,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah, you meet the universe, and it'll meet you right back.
Exactly right, bro. What are some of the stresses of owning a business?
I would say, I think one of the biggest ones is kind of again with the community. Like you're able to kind of create this thing for people, and they love it, and they want to be a part of it. And it's like, okay, how do we keep this vibe going? How do we uphold the culture in this place? Um, I think sometimes too. There are certain people who come in and they're kind of stuck in that egotistical mindset, and um, they sometimes it's super judgmental, and they're like, oh, like you can't do that. Again, they're kind of
Mm,
locked in this box of rules and regulations, um, and sometimes it's hard for them to come in a space like that and just let all that fall off,
yep.
right? And when you're around other people who are just go go go, flying by the seat of their pants, um, it can be, I think, kind of overwhelming for them. And and sometimes, yeah, I've had conversations with people where it's like, nah, like you don't need to be locked in this box that you kind of built for yourself. And a lot of people, some people aren't very receptive to that,
Mm,
and that's perfectly fine. But it's like that's what this space is for, is to just get out of that box a little bit. I think another thing too, like. Um, right now everything's expensive shit. Trying to,
insane.
and I work full time to fund this and my life in general. So kind of trying to walk a fine line of using this as my studio and then also selling things here and there. And the ultimate goal is to obviously get this stuff out into the world and on people's bodies, which is the what I really want. But yeah, kind of keeping this thing afloat with the monies is one of the bigger ones I think. And
For sure.
but it's funny too. It's like some days I'm super stressed about it, but this is the stress that I was asking for.
Yep.
2.5 years ago,
Yep.
and this is what I've been building up to. Um, I think another thing um, is just trying to maintain relationships too. I think a lot of ego comes into play, and um, even whether we notice it or not. And I think some jealousy sometimes when people come in and they're like, oh, like this is the thing I want to do, and we're trying to offer these things to them, and we'll have a great conversation, and then you'll never see them again, and that kind of thing, and which is kind of a bummer sometimes because I think like that's right where I want you. I want you right there so we can kind of break those walls down, and then you find your people, right? And you find the things that you want to do, and um, yeah, I think those are probably, I'd say, top three off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
It's been now that I'm kind of like really trying to think about it, it's it's yeah, this is what I love to do.
Right.
This is my passion. I've wanted this for so long. The hard shit doesn't feel hard.
Mm-hmm.
And when it is super hard, it's still very manageable because there's no other choice in my head. Like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I want to make happen. Um, and the bigger I get, and when I branch out and want to get a bigger shop and stuff like that, and do more things, obviously there'll be some more stuff that come into play.
Yep.
But right now, I think I'm just fucking enjoying this thing and trying to do my best to just milk it for everything it's got. And I think I've been pretty successful at that. I've been making a lot of connections and a lot of full circle moments, like especially with Jesse at Greater Good. I've been getting my haircut since before I moved down here, and I've been always want to collaborate with them. And then the past 2 weeks, he's been kind of following the journey, and then he hit me up and he's like, "Dude, I want to work on some projects that we did." And it was like last night. It was like 12:30. I hadn't even eaten since breakfast, and I got a headache, and taxes are due, and all that kind of stuff. And I was super stressed, but then it like hit me one moment. He's sewing on the machine, and I'm like, this is why I'm doing this stuff, right? And it's kind of just I'm real good at putting my head down and keeping my mouth shut and just trucking along. And I feel like that's what's allowed me to kind of do this stuff. Um, I'm not algorithmic at all, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't post a lot of things, and I'm not really on the social medias a lot. I'm usually just posting stuff like my process videos and showing people what I'm working on, and so the events that we do, and people just kind of gravitate towards that, and that's where I kind of tap into like I'm not always posting perfect stuff. I'm not always posting like I'm not always happy on my Instagram. I'm not trying to hide from those things. And I think that's what people gravitate towards too is like this shit is real and it's raw and you can tell I hope people can tell like I'm just trying to be okay at the
Right.
end of the day. And these are things that allow that and um, without words I think people feel that. And that's like what I'm super grateful for honestly is some days it is. I think some days, yeah, it's tough to feel like I'm on the right track or like I'm doing the right thing. And we have so many young people down here in Phoenix that are doing. They're so successful at sort of the small businesses that they're starting um, and just some of the events that they're throwing. And so when you see that on Instagram, you're kind of like, fuck. Like I could or should be doing more right now. And so I think I put a lot of pressure on myself too.
Yeah.
As much as I feel like I'm right where I need to be, I definitely have those moments throughout the week where I'm like, I gotta do more. Like I gotta show face. I gotta show up a little bit better for these people and do more for the community and make this thing what it needs to be so that it's easier for them to come and approach it. Um, I would say that's probably the hardest thing right now.
That is a very tough one, man. I
Yeah.
felt that myself sometimes too, and it's crazy though because you're you.
Yeah.
Like you gotta still take care of yourself,
Exactly.
and it's a really tricky balance. Like I feel the exact same way. Like fuck, man, let's make the most of this time. But sometimes it's like
hmm
kind of gotta chill
I'm
sometimes,
I'm running on
you know?
8 hours of sleep the past 3 days
Yeah,
trying to make this happen. It's like if I can't take care of myself, then I can't show up in the
exactly.
ways that people need to. So
Exactly, man.
yeah,
That's part of I think like just learning, right? Like,
absolutely.
the 100 miles an hour all the time. There's a time for that,
Yes.
but it can't be all the time.
It can't be all the time. Yeah, I know. Me and my homie Matt, we're two candles burning at both ends, and we're always going 100 miles an hour. We're always trying to do something and collaborate with people. And he's the one who kind of helped me coin that make cool shit with cool people. And
Mm-hmm.
as soon as that opportunity comes up, we're bouncing on that thing. And we haven't eaten all day. We haven't slept for the past day and a half or past 2 days. And yeah, it kind of hits you hard sometimes, and you're like, shit. Like I gotta drop this and just go sleep for eight
Yeah.
hours and then come back. And um, but yeah, that's I think probably the hardest thing right now is trying to force myself to chill, force myself to kind of, I think, be a little bit more picky with some of those opportunities that pop up. I'm super big. I volunteer at a maker space called the Walter Hive, and I feel like that's one of those things that I've been missing most of my life is just giving my time to the things and the people that things I want to do and the people I want to work with. And I think that's been the most valuable thing in the past year and a half since being down here and starting all this stuff is like showing face and showing out for people without any expectation, or like you're not trying to leverage anything out of this opportunity. That's when the magic happens. Like as soon as you're trying to leverage stuff, like
Yeah.
you're always going to be on the losing end of that thing. And if you're willing to just show up for people and do the best you can with no expectation, that's where it's like you're meeting the universe and it'll meet you right back with those opportunities. And where you put your energy, those same opportunities go hand in hand. Those are the things that are going to pop up. And that's kind of where I found myself in the past couple of years. Literally just volunteering my time, volunteering my knowledge, and literally just doing stuff for free. Sometimes you get a little to get a lot more.
Right.
And that's also been one of the models that I've been running with too. Is if I gotta give just a little bit to get this thing, or to get a little bit closer to this opportunity, fuck it, I'm down. Like put me in, coach. I am down for that kind of thing. And I think doing that too has just set me up with a really, really great group of friends, a really great like network of people that I'm a fabricator at heart, and so it's been past year and a half. I've been kind of tossing up the idea of leaving the career full time job that I've been at, which is super scary. Um, but it makes it so much easier to approach because now I've got all these people who are doing odd jobs here and there, and they're always hitting me up like, "Hey, Jake, can you come help us with this thing?" And that's where I'm like, I gotta leave this job because working full time, 10, 12 hours a day, I'm locked in and I can't do anything else and I can't do these cool projects that I want to work on
Mm-hmm.
and these sculptures and whatever it is. Um, and so that's where it becomes easier for me recently. And I'm like, you know what? I can do this thing. Because there are people out there, you just give them your time and they're going to remember that. And they're going to bring you in on jobs and they're going to take care of you. And that's the one thing I love about this place is we're always scratching each other's back. We're always trying to help each other out. And I think that makes it way more approachable to just like really take that leap, do my thing, and like trust the process and just trust yourself. I think at the end of the day too. So
Massive.
yeah, that's yeah. If anybody needs something to do, just volunteer your time, please. It's
Mm.
one of those things. Just go out there, show face, show out, um, and those opportunities that you're yearning for, they'll find you. They will find you. So,
Yep.
um,
You kind of have to learn to surrender in a way. It's
yes.
like you always have to fight and you always have to make shit happen, but at the same time, you have to, like what you're saying about just put
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
You have to, man.
Yep.
Let it happen.
Exactly.
Trust it.
Be uncomfortable. Like there's multiple jobs that I've worked on where I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm not even getting paid for anything. Like, and I'm working to the nth degree for another 12 hours, and I got a full-time freaking job. And then 2 weeks down the line, a month down the line, those same people that you help, they're like, hey, I need help with this project, and it's super sick, and I think you'd be perfect to be on the team or anything like that. And when that started happening, I'm like,
Yep.
oh. Like I get it. I get it. You can't leverage that. You can't have an expectation. If you want to do this thing, like find somebody who's doing it and just offer your time. You
Right.
know? You're gonna learn the most that way. And that's kind of how I got the full-time job that I got now with the welding shop. I really didn't have any welding experience. And they took a chance on me because I'm just one of those guys. I'm like, hey, if you'll teach me how to weld, I'll mop or I'll sweep your floors. Like you don't even got to pay me. Like just let me be around this. Let me be a part of it. Um, and that's kind of what set me up at that job and made me invaluable, I think, and really great opportunities out there. But everything's got its cap, everything's got its end, and I think I'm like slowly reaching that. So we'll see what happens. But within the next couple of months, there's definitely going to be some big changes for me. I want to be closer to home down here. I want to be closer to my friends, and I want to live that, make cool shit with cool people to the nth degree. Honestly,
Yeah.
so I really hate being so far away during the week, and uh, my friends will call me up. I'm already working or I'm welding, and they'll call me up and be like, "Hey, like I'm working on this project. What do you think I should do here? What do you think would be better here?" And so I'm like consulting with my friends while I'm working too. And sometimes it hits me, where I'm just like, "Damn, like I just want to be there. I need to do that, right?"
Yeah.
And so
Yeah, man, it's a tricky thing. I also work a full-time
yeah,
job, so again, I feel you on that, and it's like, fuck, man, it's financially
yeah,
like it's almost a necessity, but
exactly.
from that creativity, someone told me that a while back, like you do kind of have to be in the mix consistently
Yes.
to really maximize. Like if you pull, I'm usually the type of guy like I'll pull up and then I'll go do my own thing,
Yeah.
but like you do kind of have to
Yeah.
spend that time, to your
Absolutely.
point,
And
like just being there.
just being there, and
Yeah.
that's what Pauline always told me too. She's a huge inspiration, and she's like one of the main people who has like really introduced me into the art scene down here and a lot of the community that I found. And she's always telling me like, you have to go, just
Yeah.
show face, just be there, because that's what they're gonna remember,
Yeah.
and that's like the most invaluable thing, I think.
You're right.
So
Exactly. And also I feel like it makes you appreciate like when people come to your spot, but they take the time to come here. That means a lot, you know?
exactly. And those are gonna people the people that I call up and I'm like, hey, I'm running this event. You want to do something? You want to pop up? Um, and yeah, exactly. To me, it's super invaluable, and it's like it warms my freaking heart, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's like another thing too, where it's like I kind of need to take that leap and just like these are the things I want to do. These are the people that I want to be around, and there are people who want to give their time and they want to be here. Um, and so it's like, yeah, like let's really take that leap and make this space as what it should be, and offer it up in ways that I see in my head that really aren't a reality right now, but they can be, right? And it's I'm so close. I'm so close to that kind of thing. So, I want to be able to, as much as it is for me, it's for everybody else. And yeah, it's sometimes that pressure hits too, or
Mm-hmm.
where I feel like I'm maybe not doing enough, but everything in due time, and I do my best to not rush the process. Luckily, I'm a slow burner anyways. I'm a late bloomer in a lot of
Yeah,
ways, and
me too.
so just the way that I work kind of forces me into that. I'm like, fuck, I need to do this thing, but I know for a fact I can't do it unless X, Y, and Z, and yeah, you kind of just gotta take your time with that kind of thing, and um, yeah, like I was saying, like within the past year, there's been a lot of full circle moments that I've had with artists and other business owners that I've wanted to work with for a long time, and it's like just put my head down, do my thing, let my work and kind of speak for itself, and those people that I do want to work with, they'll recognize that, and
For
and
sure,
they'll
man.
gravitate towards it. So
It's a combination of the universe and then like in a way that's how business is. Like it's very rare where you just like meet someone and then like the day of you just
yeah,
lock in. Like
yeah,
when that happens, it's unbelievable.
yep,
But usually like, yo, everyone's got shit going on. Like you
exactly,
gotta, that's how business is, you know?
yes, yes,
So
for
no,
sure.
that's awesome, bro. That's fucking awesome. This is a great spot, man.
Thank you.
It's a really good vibe. I really like the green, by the way. I think
I know everyone's they're like, "Did you paint the walls?" I'm like, "Actually, they were already, all three spaces except for Pauline's place, but yeah, they all got this really
I
dark
love
green
it.
tint, and it worked perfect because I'm obsessed with old military gear anyway, so it kind of just keeps that vibe. I think it's like it's that color theory thing too, right? Like you want to feel safe and you want to feel comfortable, and it's funny how like outside influences, whether it be color or just the sunlight coming through, can affect and can inspire and do certain things for you. And it's funny, yeah. Just the colors of the shop are a big draw for people too,
It's nice, man.
which I found out, and that's kind of funny to me. So, but no, and I love the dark walls. It keeps it homey. I'm like in my
Yeah.
cave most of the time. Um, but yeah, no, it's no, I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, man. No, I love it. And also you mentioned this earlier, silversmithing.
Yes.
is essentially making stuff out of silver.
Yep. So I'm usually making jewelry,
Very
stuff
cool.
like
Oh
this.
shit.
I'm like wearing a bracelet that I made.
Fire. We're icy, man. Let's go. This is
Yeah,
sick.
so that's another thing that I really love to do. Before I got into, well, I think when I was kind of on a break when I was going to college, with my sewing, I wasn't doing much sewing, and I had to just take silversmithing as an elective. And yeah, as much as I love school, like as soon as I took that class, I was like, wait, like I think this is something I really want to do. So I dropped everything, stopped going to all my other classes, and I would just show up to silversmithing every day. We had like a 2 hour class that we would do. Um, and yeah, I realized, actually right here, I've got this keychain, all sterling silver that I made out of like a silver bullion.
Dope.
And it's like a old Indian head
Yeah.
kind of vibe. And so I made that into a pendant, and I made a chain for it. And I'd never done an art show at that point. So I did my first art show. I put that in, and I literally wasn't expecting anything from it. And I walk in after the weekend. I think it was like a Tuesday, and everyone's kind of like giving me the side eye. And then my teacher comes up to me and he's like, "Hey, go check out the gallery." And I got first place on this piece, like my first ever
Damn.
art show, my first ever piece, and it just lit this fucking fire under me, and I was like, this is my shit. Like this is what I want to do. I realized like I've got this vibe, and that I've always got a message with everything too, and this one it's got an Indian head on one side, and then it's got a buffalo on the other, and when I first saw it, like it pissed me off kinda, because it was one of those things. It's like back in the day the U.S. is, our government's the one who like killed off the food supply for a lot of Native Americans. And if we're gonna like put their face on one end and put this thing that we took away from them and we're trying to have this ode to them, which I can walk that line too, and I see it. But to me, it was almost like a slap in the face of like, we don't give you anything and we don't appreciate in the ways that we should, but we'll put you on a coin and we'll make money
Yes.
off that too,
Yeah.
right? And so that was part of my message with that, and I think that's probably what helped with, you know, uh,
Interesting.
that kind of thing. And but yeah, it's like everything that I do has some sort of kind of inspiration and a message behind it, and usually it's kind of that counterculture thing. It's like
Yes.
this is pissing me off, and I don't want to walk this line, so let's mock it, or let's stir the pot a little bit and make
Absolutely,
people
man.
think. And that was my thing. I really wanted people to see it and just be like, yes, like why would we do that?
Yeah.
First of all, why would we do that in the past, and then now we're gonna try to bring this back and try to make it a I
For
don't know, a
sure,
good
bro.
thing or whatever it may be. So
Absolutely, man. And fucking corporate culture, like just bullshit. It's always been about the underground. It's always been
yes,
about that rebellion.
yep,
The second a corporation gets involved, it's over.
yep, I
Government or corporation,
agree.
you're fucked. Either way,
They're one and the same to
they
me.
are.
Yeah,
They are. So to hear that type of stuff, individuality,
yeah,
you know, it's a must. More now
absolutely.
more than ever.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it speaks to like sort of that perfectionist side too. Um, I just want to make something that's real, not
Right.
something that just has this mask on it and I'm trying to play it off for
Yes.
something else, and or I'm trying to make the most perfect technical piece. It was, it's messy, and I wore it on myself and got it all dirty and dented and bent, and um, that's what I want. I want things to be raw, and I want you to
Yep.
have to confront this thing for what it is, not what you want it to be, right? And so
Love that.
that's the stoop I'm jumping off from, I think, and um, it's the thing that drives me. It really does. I love to stir the pot, and I love to be able to confront things, and um, it's exciting.
It
It's
is.
exciting. It's scary.
It is.
Um,
It's necessary too, man.
yes.
There's, status quo.
Oh, yeah.
Status quo. Hey, man, it's good enough. Good enough. Fuck
Yeah.
it, man. When is
Yeah.
it? When isn't it?
Exactly. Right.
Right? It's one of those things. It's not for everybody, but
And that's what I need it to be. I don't want it to be for
no,
everybody, and I know it's not going to be for everybody. But the people who do appreciate it and gravitate towards it, those are the people that I want around,
exactly,
right? So
exactly, bro.
my art pieces and the things that I do kind of push the right people away and bring the right people in, and
Yep,
that's why I love the counterculture thing, and that's the
me
line I'm
too.
always trying to watch or trying to walk. And Yeah, like I said, it brings the crowd. I mean, obviously, it brings some animosity from some people, and people want to have conversations, which I'm totally about,
Hell yeah.
and that's how things should be.
Yeah,
But it,
but let's actually talk about it, not typing, you know?
yeah, yeah,
Tell
exactly.
me. Use your voice.
Use your voice. Let's have some dialogue. Let's try to leave emotion and bias at the door, and like let's really look at this thing. Because if you got a way of looking at this thing that I haven't thought of that I resonate with, I need that. I
Yeah.
want that, and I want to be able to offer that to other people too. So
100%,
yeah,
bro. I just again on the 60s topic.
yeah.
I'm not sure if you're a Hunter S. Thompson fan at
Oh,
all.
absolutely. Love
Have you
Hunter.
seen the clip on YouTube where it's him with the Hell's Angel
Yes.
and the Hell's Angel's confronting him because he put out a book
Yep.
and like it didn't paint them in the most positive light
No.
because essentially they're fucking criminals and
They're
shit.
gang dog. Yes.
And it was in front of a live audience.
Mhm.
And his criticism of Hunter S. Thompson was that he stepped in to confront a Hell's Angel that
Yeah.
was beating the shit out of his girl.
Yes.
And the crowd was like cheering the Hell's Angel.
Oh,
The
I
Hell's
haven't seen this clip.
Angel, the
No,
Hell's Angel was like saying you should have stayed out of it type
yeah,
shit. And he had like charisma, you
for
know?
sure.
So the crowd was like behind him, and Hunter S. Thompson's like he was beating the shit out of his girl.
Yeah.
And it
Of
was
course I'm
like,
gonna stay.
and it was so fascinating to me because it's that what do you call it, fucking like mob mentality
Yeah,
almost,
100%.
you know,
Oh my
like
gosh, yes.
bro, this guy stood up to a fucking biker,
Yes. Who could have easily killed him on the
you
spot
know,
and would have and
and
fine with it.
he's the bad guy. Like
Yeah.
that's fucking crazy. So I just love to see that clip of it's always been that way. Like it's you
Yes.
always kind of have to go against the grain if you
Yep.
do what you believe in. You have to
Yes.
understand that most people probably won't even understand you,
Uh-huh.
you
Oh,
know.
absolutely. Absolutely. And him doing that too and kind of confronting those things, it probably changed him in ways that he didn't even realize. He didn't
Yes.
realize he had the courage to do that kind of stuff. And it's funny that you brought that up too, because I've seen one clip where it shows him like 2 months before he kind of dropped out and just followed the Hells Angels, and he's super corporate. He's got his nice
Yes.
hair, and then it was like 2 days after he left, he's got a black eye, a bloody lip, and his hair shaved
Yeah,
off.
they fucked him up, man.
Exactly. And that's like, yeah, that's that realness, that rawness. Sometimes you got to be able to confront that and like really see who you are in those moments and
Yep.
around those types of crowds too, I think, in that kind of culture. And that was like super valuable to me. Just the visuals of seeing that, you're like, you gotta get out there and you gotta be able to confront some of that stuff because
Yep.
you maybe you will be even closer to this person that you want to be or you're supposed to be by the end of it. Whether you get punched in the face or they shave your hair off and
Yeah.
they paint you out to be the bad guy, like you got to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Got
And
to
you,
be able to
you
do it.
you mentioned you referenced like being able to sleep at night.
Yeah,
That's when you're able to sleep at night. You
exactly.
know, you stood up for something. So I'm gonna send you that clip though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, please.
very
I'd
fascinating,
love
man.
to watch
Kind
that.
of like sickening,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
fascinating.
And I think too, like when you touched on the mob mentality thing too, like that's I think for me sometimes that walks that like pop culture kind of thing and
Mm-hmm.
like the status quo. Like you said too, I'm sure he had a lot of charisma talking about that, but you got to be able to like look at this thing for what it
Yes.
is,
Exactly.
not what you want it to be. And just
Exactly.
because some dude stands up and he's real loud and he talks real sweet,
Yep.
it doesn't mean it's the right thing. It doesn't mean it's the way to go. And I think yeah, it's just one of them things, and I'm super soft spoken, and I don't really. I'm not the biggest conversationalist in the world, so this is new for me. This is new for me.
Hey, man, you're doing a great
I
job.
appreciate that, and um, yeah, I don't even know where I was going with that point, but
No,
anyways,
I fuck with it, man. I like sometimes I'm a similar way. Like I'm much more of a chill guy,
yeah,
like whatever. But yo, there's a time to fucking speak up. There
exactly,
is. And
exactly,
there's not a it's not a problem with showing anger sometimes
yeah.
and showing frustration and
Sometimes it's
you know,
appropriate
it's
to.
appropriate. Like, nah, bro, this is
This
wrong
is fucked
and I
up.
want you to know about it
Yes, yes,
and that's okay.
yep,
As
100%.
opposed to just, you have to fucking pick your battles in life. You
Yeah,
do. Like, you can't be fighting every day. It's not
exactly.
healthy, but
Yep.
there is a time to fight.
There's a time and a place for everything, and sometimes you got to push yourself out of that comfort zone and really ask yourself like, who am I in this moment, or who do I want to be in this moment? Or I think someone brought up this point too. It's like the person I'm trying to be does this thing. And if that's
Right.
like speaking up or whatever it is, protesting or and doing that kind of stuff, it's if that's the person you want to be, like, do it. Like, do those things, and the person you want to be does that. Start acting, start doing some of those things, and whether if that's not the person you want to be, and you do some of those and you find that out, perfect, perfectly fine, because then you're able to pivot. You're able to find that
Definitely.
throw, and I just think that's super important, super super important.
It is, man. That's very well said.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Damn, bro, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Yes, no,
I
thank you, thank you.
My pleasure, man. It's a beautiful thing you got going on here. I'm very fascinated by it and excited to go to some events, and
Absolutely.
we'll definitely collaborate on some
We
stuff,
need
man.
to. We're gonna do some merch for you. We'll get some
Yeah,
T-shirts, maybe even some posters. We'll get Colin in on it. We'll get Pauline in on it, and
poster would be dope.
hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think right now, like, what can we do?
The ideas are flowing. This is what I'm talking about,
Yep.
right? Like, if you haven't done it, let's find a way to streamline it and make it a reality for you. So
Hell yeah, man. I love that. You referenced you got the philosophy night coming up in a
yes,
month.
yep.
Any other events you'd like to plug or anything for the business you want to talk about?
Um, for me, I'm kind of a slow burn. So we've got the philosophy night next month. I'm helping out with some people who are popping up at Viva Phoenix this
Mm-hmm.
weekend. So shout out them, shout out Greater Good. Yeah, it's been a blessing to be able to work with them and kind of facilitate some of this stuff. And even if I'm not there, it's just nice to be able to do that kind of stuff and be involved even from afar.
Yep.
So yeah, right now it's just been a kind of hunker down and get some work done. So you know, nothing too crazy. But yeah, next month we'll be doing philosophy night. So if you're around, definitely come by.
Fuck yeah, man. I love philosophy, so I'll be there, man. I'll be there. Where can people find your social media and updates and stuff like that?
So my Instagram is probably the best way to either get a hold of me or see anything that we're doing. I post a lot of stuff in my story. I'm trying to get a little calendar going for the rest of the year,
Nice.
and kind of get that posted up. That way, people can just go over there and reference it. CounterCulturePHX is the Instagram handle, and yeah, I mean I do a lot of stuff there. I'm not the biggest poster in the world, but it's one of those things. It allows me to get some of that stuff out, and it brings the right people in too, I think. So I'm
Definitely.
not trying to be the most popular, and I'm not trying to get everybody in here. But yeah, no, it's been super awesome, and I think what we got going on here is just what I need. Keeps me sane, keeps me happy, keeps me alive. So
That's what we want, man. That's what we
exactly,
want.
exactly.
I appreciate you, bro. Counterculture Phoenix. Come check it out if you're in the Phoenix area, Grand Avenue. Very cool spot. Very cool vibes.
Thank you. Yeah,
A lot of success in your future, bro. I wish you the best.
thank you.
Appreciate you having me, man.
I appreciate
Versatile
it.
Vigilante. We're fucking out here, bro.